Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode or another interview here on the ESC United channel. We are super excited because this is our first video interview for the American Song Contest, and today we are joined by Alexis Cunningham. Hi, Alexis, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm doing good too. I'm super excited, especially, this is not the first interview that I've done here on the channel, but I'm excited because I've been interviewing European artists for the longest time. And so this is the first time that I actually get to interview a fellow American, but also in American time zones. Uh, so it's
Yay! Are
very
you on the East
unusual.
Coast too?
I'm actually in the Midwest. I'm based in Oklahoma right now.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just accustomed for, Central European, UK time, Albanian time. I pull some crazy times for these interviews, so it's good to be in the American time zones for a change.
That's awesome. So have you been into Eurovision for a long time then?
I actually have, yeah, going all the way back to 2015 was the first time that I really got into the contest, and I actually wanted that's a great question because I wanted to ask the exact same thing of you. How long have you known about the contest and how much of a fan might you be?
So we're similar on that because I found out about Eurovision same time 2014, 2015 when I was in Sweden touring. And I just thought it was
Gotcha.
the coolest thing that all these countries come together and, unify, and music is such a great unifier, and yeah, I love it. I think it's amazing. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And I think one of the coolest things, in addition to kind of like the cultures coming together in the countries, um, I think for me specifically, is that it kind of gives you kind of, I guess, a glimpse into what's happening in that country and the culture of the country. And I think, especially, and I think Europeans are about to do the exact same on our side. They kind of get to see a glimpse into kind of our states and the culture of our states and the music that brings that up. So that was actually another question I wanted to ask you. Since you are going to be representing your home state of West Virginia in the contest, what do our listeners and our readers need to know about West Virginia?
I would say what you need to know about West Virginia is that actually people are expecting probably folk or country, and it absolutely has that going for it, and that's where I started as a musician. But as I grew and found myself, as a person, i I went through a bunch of different genres. Like I had a punk band, I did a country album, I did a folk album, and I've kind of landed somewhere like in the middle, so I guess you would classify it as pop, but it's like it has elements of all those things.
Hmm.
um, so I would say that West Virginia is diverse in a way, so it's a bit unexpected, but I would also say that West Virginia is really warm and welcoming, and that's something that um, anybody who visits always leaves saying West Virginia has the nicest people. It is. It's like going there. It's like a big warm hug going there. I just had an interview earlier with somebody from my hometown, and it was like, oh man, I just miss it. I miss it so
Hmm.
much being there. Anyway, that's what you should.
Yeah. Perfect, perfect. And speaking of kind of, I think, the origins of your music career, how did you first learn that you both had an interest in music, but also that you wanted to, in one day, be an artist and be a musician for a career?
Um, I don't. There was never any question in my mind that that was like my passion and my drive. But I would just like write stories and poems in secret in my room and songs in my room and keep it to myself. And then my parents would be like listening against my door. And I'd be like, get out, like get away from me. And then I asked for a guitar so that I could, be singing and playing, kind of make it a bigger thing for myself so I didn't have to have somebody else playing the guitar or piano for me. And anyway, it was just always something that I wanted. I think when I was 9, I made business cards that said Alexis Cunningham, singer songwriter. Um, yeah, I think other people maybe said, well, that's going to be tough. Don't you want to do something else? Maybe you can be, insert whatever profession it was. And I think maybe at some point I was like, yeah, I should study other things and think about other things. But in the back of my mind and really in my heart, it's always been one thing. Truly my passion is always been writing songs. So, yeah.
Awesome. And
Yeah.
have any of those songs that you maybe wrote kind of secretly in that journal, have you recorded and published any of those, or are they just kind of still kind of like secretly chilling in that journal?
Oh, yeah, a lot of them have made their way to yeah, to albums and recordings. I mean, I don't even know how many songs I've written at this point, but a lot of them have been like brought to life. And yeah, I mean, I've done multiple albums and I haven't released any of them because like I think I mentioned, I changed my mind about what genre or what path I kind of wanted to go down. But yeah, once I kind of figured out who I was, which takes some time, I think for any person, then my music kind of followed suit and everything just kind of fell into place and it felt right, you know?
Hmm.
So the songs that I'm going to be presenting to the world and the song that I'm going to be presenting on American Song Contest, yeah, is one of the songs that, started in a journal. Exactly. The idea started in a journal and yeah, their hopes and dreams and all that good stuff. All those all those feelings.
Awesome. Well, hopefully one day, I mean, whether or not you choose to uh, release, I suppose, whichever album you choose, hopefully some of those songs can make it into the light of day. Because I'm sure that there are people out there, and I'm sure especially after the American Song Contest, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to want to support you in your career. So I guess my big question for you here in this, I mean, obviously, you had mentioned that your American Song Contest song came up in that journal. What I guess I'm a little curious to learn about is who are some of your musical influences? Because you covered, folk and you covered pop, and I think country might have been in there. But who do you look to inspire your music?
When I was a kid, I would steal albums from my parents because, when you're a kid, you don't have money. I mean,
Hmm.
you can make your own money and I would go buy albums with the money I would get, but it starts in your house, I think, in your home. So I remember I loved my mom's Sheryl Crow album a lot. Um, the first couple albums I loved. I also loved Jewel. I was really inspired by Jewel. And that's, some of the first songs I learned how to play and sing at the same time. John Mayer is a huge influence. I wanted to be like the female John Mayer and still do in a lot of ways. And then, I love stuff like Third Eye Blind. I really love things like that. Obviously, Fleetwood Mac. I don't know who doesn't love Fleetwood Mac. I mean, I could go on and on, really, but those are main staples of my influences.
Gotcha. And it's funny that you bring up Jewel, because obviously she's going to be in the contest. Now
I
we
know,
don't know who's on what episode and
right?
everything like that, but have you been able to connect with her because of kind of your mutual casting?
Um, so no, not yet, and yeah, it's kind of a crazy full circle thing in my head. But no, maybe I'll get to compete against her at some point. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see. We would just have to see.
Yes.
My
Yes.
music's
That's one
a
of
lot
the
different now, but yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the many mysteries. And of course, I've been working back and forth with the PR team for NBC, and that is one of the most well kept secrets is who is going to be on what episode.
Right.
So fingers crossed, maybe at some point, or maybe some point after the contest, you all, or specifically you and Jewel, will be able to connect and, I guess talk shop, musical shop, if you will. Um,
That would be
but
like so, fulfilling for me. Very, very full circle. Very cool for me. You
yeah, yeah. Well, and obviously, since we know about Jewel, are there any other artists that you have been able to kind of connect with or bond with during this experience?
So it's a live show, so I have not been out there yet. So I can tell you that, my episode hasn't happened yet. So other than just kind of social media stuff at this point, no, but I've gotten a chance to at least check out everybody's music, and it's just like so vast, the different like how much variety is there, which is so cool. There's so much talent. I just can't wait really to get to hang out with everybody and see everybody perform, and you never know what can come out of that. Maybe we'll get to write together. I don't know, become great friends. I'm always looking for new friends, who are talented as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and we had mentioned Eurovision earlier. I think a trend that we see a lot with the Eurovision Song Contest is that like that class of artists bond a lot during that show experience. Now the show's a little different because they're all there together at the same time, and this is obviously episode by episode. But we also see a lot of collaborations with some of those artists where they'll produce a track or a single together. And so I think, at least knowing the structure, the bare bones of this show, I have a feeling that it's probably likely that if someone is interested in it, you probably would have the opportunity to link up with someone and connect. Fingers crossed, maybe it'll be Jewel. Fingers crossed.
Jewel would be great. I mean, Macy Gray's on the show too. So, I mean, I would Macy Gray. I mean, but also some of the other artists are incredible as well. Some of the other ones who aren't at that level. I'm telling you, there are some amazing artists on the show that, I mean, I don't even, the level of talent is incredible. The show is going to be so much fun to watch and be a part of. I'm beyond excited.
Yeah. Well, speaking of live shows and performances, this is going to be the most difficult question I probably ask you this entire interview. But if you got the chance to do a one night show anywhere in the world, any venue, any location, there doesn't even have to be a concert hall there, where would you choose to perform and why?
Where? Hmm. You know what? I think Hyde Park, I guess, just sounds really cool to me. It seems like it would be a really cool place to perform and do something. So I'm gonna go with Hyde Park.
I like that idea. I'm a big fan of Hyde Park
Do
too.
you have
So
any suggestions? Any other things that you should throw out there? That's what popped into my head first. I don't know why.
yeah.
That's
Well,
okay.
I will tell you.
Oh wait, okay, Red Rocks. Actually, I maybe I take that back and say Red Rocks. Okay, and
Okay.
then okay, I'm still open to your suggestion. I want to hear it.
There was I actually have asked this question to another ASC artist, and I will not tell you who it was, but their answer was that they would do the pyramids and do a performance out there because they are just obsessed with Egyptian culture. So she
I
went
want to
big.
tell me who it is. Why not?
I, you'll have to read the interview article to find out.
Oh my God. Wow. Okay. I see how it
But it also hasn't been released yet, so that's the other reason why I haven't been able to post it because I'm also waiting on their episode
okay.
to come out first. So,
Okay.
but I'll shoot you the link when it comes out so you can find out.
Okay. All right, cool.
Awesome. So one thing I also want to ask about you, obviously we know that we have this connection to Eurovision, and the American Song Contest is loosely based on Eurovision with an American adaptation to it. But how did you first learn about this show and this opportunity?
So, like I mentioned, whenever I was touring in Sweden, I was introduced to it. So I got excited about it. I thought it was awesome. And I was just saying, I wish that they had something like this in America, because I would basically die to compete in something like this, because, songwriting is my passion. There's so many, competitions where it's about the singing, and there are so many amazing singers that, you know, I think I can sing, but it's just not really, that is not my particular, I would say, gift. Like, there are way, way, way better singers than me. And I accept that. But I think with songwriting, it's artistic and it's totally objective. So, um, yeah, I just wanted to be a part of that. So when I heard that it was coming to the States, I completely jumped on that opportunity and just submitted as many songs as I could. And luckily, I was accepted. And, we picked a song that we thought was right for the moment. And here we are.
Yeah, and I obviously we can't go into the nitty gritty details of your song, but one thing I want to ask, I've been noticing that there have been a lot of teasers popping up on social media from some artists who maybe aren't as good at keeping a secret as others. So, how hard has it been for you to basically sit on this secret that not only were you cast, but also of this song that you've been just waiting and waiting and waiting to release ahead of the show?
I will tell, I've been going through interviews. I mean, it feels like it's been almost a year, but it hasn't been quite a year, but it's been quite a long time. So yeah, it's been tough. Yeah, and the song, I wrote years ago, and I have written and rewritten, and I'll tell you that I just rewrote part of the chorus a few days ago.
Ooh, okay.
I feel like I have a new like a new excitement about it. Um, so when I get excited about a new song that I write, like, I feel like this is a new song in that way, just because I changed a little bit of it. When I get excited about a new song, all I want to do is share it with people. And obviously, I'm extremely excited about the show, so it's hard. It's hard not to share it and say, look what I did, look what I'm doing, But everything is gonna be great. They have it all planned out the way that it's supposed to go. And all we can do is wait and be patient. And that's it. That's all we can do.
Exactly, exactly. And I can imagine especially when you're thinking about not only do you have to kind of sit on the secret of the song, but also you have to kind of watch depending on your episode where you end up in the lot. You
Right,
get
right.
to watch your competitors compete a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks before you even take to the stage. So is there anything about this show and this process that maybe you're a little excited about, but also maybe nervous about? Or is it just going to be you're just excited, it's going to be a great time the whole way through?
Of course. I mean, there are so many. There's everybody in this competition is so high level. Everybody's so talented. I'm probably one of the least known artists in this whole competition. So some people have huge fan bases, um, have done a lot bigger things than I've done. So that in that way, that's intimidating. That can be, if you let yourself get in your head and think about it like that. But if I think about it like, okay, I was chosen for this opportunity. I believe in myself. I believe in my song, and I'm totally gonna deliver. And that's it. So I'm just going with number two, and that's all I can do. Be myself and sing my song, and that's what we're gonna go with.
Yeah, yeah, I think that that's a very good answer. I mean, you know you best, and so whether or not that possibly translates to the live stage, whether or not that is a qualifying performance or not, I mean, you still, again, also I think going back to that Eurovision, a lot of artists are so excited to be there because of that exposure, because they're able to transmit their message and their music and what they do on such a larger stage, even if they don't qualify. We have Eurovision artists who like are massive all across Europe and came like bottom four in their semifinal, but they didn't let that stop them from that experience. So, and then we've also had some Eurovision acts that literally are like you, that just were local acts that got a lucky break and made top 10 out of 40 countries in Eurovision. So
That's
it's one of
right.
those things. You never
That's
really
what
know
we're
what's going to
going for.
happen.
We're going for the underdog, right? Everybody loves an underdog story. That's what we're going for
Exactly.
here.
Exactly. Awesome. Awesome. Well, the other thing that I really wanted to ask you now, of course, right now, we don't know if there will be a second season of the American Song Contest, but hypothetically speaking, if there was, what advice would you have for the future West Virginian representative, knowing what you know now?
My advice would be choose a song that you feel best represents you. And also I would say is positive and uplifting. But it doesn't have to be like fit a format, and I would say don't try to make it contrived, don't say, oh, I think this is gonna make people feel emotional, or I wouldn't say try to manipulate people or anything. I would say just be true to yourself, pick a song that you've already written that means a lot to you, and that you believe in. And I think that people will understand that and get it, and that's what will help you get through. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Good
my advice.
advice.
Yes.
Good advice. Well, as we kind of wrap up here, we have covered that we are a little bit of an underdog, a little bit unknown, perhaps on a national level. So, one of the ways I think that we can change that is by sharing some of our social media, our YouTube channel, Spotify. Where can our viewers find you and your music and support you?
Okay, so my name is Alexis Cunningham. You can find me on all platforms. I've just put out my first single because I have finally decided on my sound or genre, whatever that officially is. It's kind of like retro power pop rock, right? I'm just gonna say it. It's that, and then when you
Okay.
hear, you can kind of decide, because people, when they hear it, are saying that they don't know how to place it, and that I don't really sound like anybody else right now. So I would love to hear your opinion on it. Have you gotten to listen to of my music yet? Or actually, I only have one
Yeah.
song out. You did?
Yes, I did actually take a listen to it. It was gonna be a question. I originally planned on asking, and I threw it out. But yeah, I did take a listen to it, and I think it's a very, like you said, a very unique and slightly different approach. I think what you said about kind of, I think the diversity of West Virginian kind of music, I think kind of fits exactly what that is. And let me talk about the cinematography for that music video. Like,
You liked
hot
it?
diggity dang. I liked it. I will say it went a different direction than I originally thought it would. And I was like, okay, okay, I dig this. This is like a cinematography project right here versus just like, like that super well produced, high budget, but it's also like it's not, how am I trying to put this? It's not like it's like an indie project where you're like, okay, I can tell that that was done on a phone camera. It looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a
But
lot of fun doing it. My friend made that for me, and he's super talented. Um, so the story of how we met is like is I won't get into it, but anyway, it was kind of kismic and meant to be, and we made that video, and we were just like, let's do something crazy and weird and funny, because why not? Like, why not do something just so weird and different? So we did. Put
yeah, well, and
in
are
time.
are there are there
Yeah.
other projects or music videos or things that are planned after ASC? Are there anything on the books, or are we kind of taking it one day at a time?
There will absolutely be stuff. So I have a full album ready. It will just be a matter of how's it going to be released, because this single is obviously being released with Atlantic. So we're just going to see how things develop from the show. But yeah, we would like to do another I can't talk, another music video. Another music video. Maybe a little bit more grand this time, but I just love making stuff with my friends. It's kind of what I like to do. Just like writing songs, you know, I just want to have fun with my friends. That's the idea. So there will be more to come, more fun, quirky stuff to come for sure.
Awesome.
Oh, right.
Perfect. Well, we
So Spotify, iTunes, wherever you want to find it. We're on YouTube, um, Instagram, TikTok. What else? I'm everywhere. Alexis Cunningham. If you want to follow me, I would love it. Check out what I'm doing before you see me on ASC. And then absolutely tune in to see me perform, because I think that I genuinely think you're going to enjoy my song and not expect what is coming.
well, and that's a really good point as well. So make sure, in the event that you want to support or vote for Alexis on the show, make sure you are following on TikTok, since that is one of the main three voting platforms of the show. I won't get into the voting rules and structure because it's way too convoluted, but we do have an article on our website that attempts to break it down for you. So if you need some content or some structure guidance, head over there. But follow and support on all social media, Spotify, iTunes, all of that jazz. And like Alexis said, make sure that you tune in to NBC pretty much every Monday night at 8 Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. I don't want to get into what time that is in Central European time, but y'all can do the math this time. But I will also mention, if you want to support us here on the channel, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, give it a like, all of that stuff, so that way you know the next time that we post an awesome, great interview, possibly with another American Song Contest artist. But until then, I will leave you all with a great old goodbye.
Goodbye.